The MLB season has come to an end. As much as I hate to say it, we have no baseball for 120 something days. Today is the first of 3 major projects coming to you in the next couple of weeks. We're ranking every MLB position player. You'll probably get one for the pitchers coming up at some point, maybe not. Now, quick little disclaimer, there's 255 players or something like that in this tier list. So first of all, strap in. Second of all, I may have missed some guy. I didn't literally put every player who played in the MLB this year. If guys were injured for a super long amount of time, I didn't include them unless they were a super important player. I didn't really include bench players. You're going to see about 9 or 10 players from each team, if that makes any sense. So with that being said, like and subscribe if you haven't already. I truly would appreciate it. Let's go ahead and let's get into the video. Right after I tell you about our sponsor, SeatGeek. It is a ticketing app that takes the confusion right out of buying tickets. They out a 0 to 10 score on every ticket, so you know if you're getting a good or bad deal. They have the bubbles, so you can see as well. If it's green and big, it's good. If it's red and big, no bueno. Plus, you can click the link in the description and use code Sentry17 to get $20 off your first order. Again, click the link in the description and download the app, and that's code Sentry17, just the username. Special thanks to SeatGeek for sponsoring today's content. And last little note, I know you guys can't take me seriously with my new haircut. Don't worry, it'll look good in like a week and a half. Time. I will tell you, boys, I actually had to split this into 2 different tier lists because there were so many players. It was telling me the file size was exceeded and stuff like that. Literally had to change it. The tiers are a little bit different today. We got a lot of players we're going through. The elite, I don't know how limited I'm going to make the elite. We have guys who are great, guys who are solid. We have guys who are too early to tell, but I'm confident in. We have guys who are, it's too early to tell, but I'm skeptical of. We have the meh, then we have the minors. I kind of put these 2 tiers here. They were at the bottom before, but I think this is probably better, more where you want to be than here. Anyway, let's go ahead and let's get into it. And apparently there's really no order to these. You'll see some teams grouped together, but there's not really any specific order in here. And we're starting off with a banger. Elvis Andrus, who really right now, he's not really a starter if you ask me. More on the meh side than minors, I would say, because he still gives some kind of value, but on a bad White Sox team, not very good. To be fair, I'm going to have to run through these really quickly, so that's probably one of the longer descriptions you're going to get. Let's go to Maldonado. He's minors. He can't hit for the life of him. His defense and his calling, sure, but not for me. Giancarlo's just become, maybe even minor. He was not good this year. Really low batting average. Didn't really hit a lot of home runs like he usually does. Brendan Belt actually ended up putting in a pretty solid season. He hit at the Blue Jays 2-hole for most of the year, so good for him. Salvi was hurt a little bit. Right now, he's just kind of meh. He's not really doing much. After a couple of years ago, not doing much. Christian Bethancourt's kind of a similar player. I don't know why we're getting so many not great ones to start off here. Same with Jonathan Scope. Trevor Story is a very tough one because he was hurt for a good portion of the year. When he came back, wasn't great, and then was fantastic, and then wasn't great again. To be clear, this is how I feel about each of these players right now. I feel Trevor Story is still a solid player in this league. Whit Merrifield the same, man. He actually put together a pretty nice season for them. He's swiping bags. I mean, these new rules were made for him. Christian Arroyo is probably in the meh, not much more. Reese McGuire can actually hit, I won't lie. Reese McGuire is a solid major leaguer. He can kind of smack the ball around. Eric Haas, after having a good 2022, came back and was kind of just meh. Yandy Diaz is a great baseball player, a great hitter. While his defense isn't great, he can play a couple different positions, and guy is just a fantastic hitter. Adam Frazier, again, just kind of a meh player, not much to there. I don't know. Actually, IKF is a tougher one than you think. He actually put together a better season this year. Perfect for the role they gave him for this year. Nonetheless, he's probably still just meh. Jonah Heim is low-key great. Maybe I'm jumping the gun, but we've seen it 2 years now. This guy is legit. Just helped his team win the World Series, too. Bo Bichette, also great. I don't know if I can put him into the elite tier, but he's definitely great. Santiago Espinal, I'm going to go with meh, not much more than that. Brent Rooker obviously had the hot start to the season and then, really fell off. To me, it's too early to tell, but I'm confident. I think this guy's got real power that he'll show. He'll become a 30 home run guy every year. Nick Maton, to be honest, he's not a minor leaguer. He actually has some tools. I'm going to put him in the meh category. I don't think that he's a minor leaguer. We've seen him for a couple years now, too, so not too early to tell. Alejandro Kirk had a bad year this year. I'm going to put him in meh. I think I put him in elite in the preseason catchers rankings, but right now I think of him as just meh. Oh, Bobby Witt is so good. He had a fantastic year. I'm going to put him in great. I'm not going to put him in elite just yet. So this is Matt Wallner, who actually ended up putting together a pretty nice season in his rookie year. I'm going to put him in too early to tell. I'm confident this guy can definitely hit for some pop, though. This is the guy who's on the Momentum channel. Stefanik, that's his name. To be honest, he's probably just mad. I don't know if he's a minor leaguer because he's kind of on that fringe. Spencer Torkelson. We've seen it for 2 full years now. We kind of started to see the power we knew he had come to fruition. I am confident. I still think it's too early to tell. He's kind of like one of those old babies, you know what I mean? This is Junior Caminero, another one where it's too early to tell, but I'm pretty confident he obviously replaced Wander. I had to include Evan Carter on this list because the guy is legit. If there was a tier for too early to tell, but like ultra super duper confident, that's where Evan Carter would be. He is incredible. Davis Schneider, on the other hand, I am quite skeptical of Davis Schneider. It feels like he just went on a luck streak. I don't know. No disrespect to the guy. He's awesome. But I'm pretty scared. I don't think he's going to come back and have as good of a year. I think Anthony Rizzo is still a pretty solid player in this league. I know he didn't have a great year this year and he was hurt as well, but he obviously was playing injured for a good portion of the time. Jose Siri is a very tough one because he had an incredible first half and then a not so great second half. He was probably still a solid ball player in the MLB though. This is Taylor Walls, right? He's just kind of meh. He's a platoon player, does the job, I guess. Josh Lowe, on the other hand, this guy is very good. Had a very good season. He's been in the league a little bit. I'm going to put him in solid for now. Luke Raley, low-key kind of hit this year. We haven't seen a lot more of him, though. Because he's a Ray and because he's going to platoon, I'm pretty confident he'll do what he did this year. Man, Vlad is no longer... I don't even know if I can put him in great, can I? I will. He had like an 800 OPS year this year, and he was fine, but it's been 2 years in a row where he hasn't been his elite self. Matt Chapman, another difficult one. Obviously, defensive wizard started off the year hot. I'm going to put him in solid for now, though. Dalton Varsho, it really depends on what you like. Dalton Varsho is going to go in meh. He's obviously like the best defensive player in baseball, but not much more. I don't know. Tristan Casas looks like a beast. This guy is going to be a great player, great power hitter. May have cooled off second half, but... no matter what. Rafi is great. He got the extension, and I feel like he was just kind of quiet this year. He probably still had a great year offensively, but just kind of quiet. Verdugo, he had a down year. He's probably more in this meh tier. He can be a solid ball player, but I put him down here. Glaber had a great season. However, putting everything together, I'm going to put him here into solid. I think he might be traded this offseason. Yoshida looks to be a real hitter, like it's kind of translating over. I'm going to put him in solid. I'm not going to put him in great just yet. Duvall, another one I'm going to put in solid. He's a great hitter, obviously, and I think he was a Gold Glover a couple years ago as well. He was just injured for a good portion of this year, so when he was playing, he was very good, though. Oh, man. Adley is so good. We've seen it 2 years now. Adley Rutschman, I think Adley Rutschman's elite. An elite base. That's crazy. On-base king, hits tanks. Actually, low-key stole some bases this year. I'm going to put Adley in elite. Ryan Mountcastle. And we're going to do these two together. This is Ryan Mountcastle. This is Ryan O'Hearn as well. They were both solid ball players. They both did their job, righty-lefty, little platoon thing they had going on there. Both solid ball players. Jorge Mateo, I'm going to put him in minors. He's fast. He plays defense. He was like one of the best hitters the first month and then was like the worst hitter the rest of the way. When you can't hit, you just can't play in the majors. I don't know. Gunnar looks to be legit. This is one where I'm confident that I think I can put him in solid. Like he's just kind of that guy, was number one prospect. Santander is a solid hitter. He's put up back-to-back pretty nice seasons offensively. Austin Hayes, also solid, was like the all-star starter in left field this year. Aaron Hicks low-key kind of got revived in Baltimore. He's kind of just meh throughout the whole entire year, though. Wasn't very good. Anthony Volpe. You can't not be confident in the guy. He's too good. I'm going to put him here in too early to tell, but I am confident. Bo Naylor wasn't very good this year. I'm actually going to put him at too early to tell. I don't think he's going to be a great hitter at the major league level. He might be a fine catcher, but we'll see. Brother Josh, on the other hand, had a very good season offensively this year. Was low-key a beast. Put him in solid. Andres Jimenez was not very good this year. You could see the regression coming. You could see it from a mile away. The underlying numbers did not like him. Jose Ramirez. Yeah. Jose Ramirez is elite. He's great. Started off slow. Of course, he turned it right around. Kept his team in games. Steven Kwan's a tough one because he also had a down year, but it still wasn't like a bad year by any means. I still think of him as a solid ball player, especially when you incorporate the glove. Will Brennan, this is. I think it's too early to tell. I think Will Brennan will end up being a solid major leaguer, however. And then Miles Straw is just a minor league. Like, he's fast, he plays defense, but again, can't hit, just like Mateo. So this is Ryan Jeffers. Ryan Jeffers is a tough one because he actually put together a solid season, was like their catcher for every day this year. I'm going to put him in solid. I think he's a solid ball. Because I don't think of him as meh. I think of him as solid, you know? Edouard Julien, another Canadian boy. It's a little too early to tell. I don't think he's going to have a very good season this coming year. I know it's quite skeptical of me to say that, but I just don't. Jorge Polanco this year, and I think of him as just kind of meh. He could be solid if in like a perfect scenario, but I don't think it's going to happen. But you look at this, we have to zoom out the thing even more. Got so many, we zoomed it out even more. So here we go. See if I can actually see these boys. This is DJ LeMahieu. Actually, Loki had a sneaky, very good second half on a bad Yankees team. It feels like he's the kind of player who's just always going to be solid. He'll play a bunch of different positions for you. Carlos Correa, it's tough to put him not anything below solid. I know he had a bad, not good at all. I know he had kind of a bad, regular season, but I don't know. It's tough. Royce Lewis put it together very well. Boy is a perennial power hitter. I think I can put him in solid. I'd love to see him continue to progress. This looks to be Max Kepler. I think Max Kepler's kind of meh. He's kind of on the fringe, meh, solid. Either one you put him in, I'm not going to argue with you. German boy. Michael A. Taylor is probably the exact same thing. He actually put together a pretty nice season this year. This guy is low-key huge, by the way. I always thought of him as kind of scrawny. Dude is tall and he's muscular. Yes, Monty Grandal was not good this year. He still gets on base, so I'll give him the benefit of the doubt, but kind of toxic as well. To be honest, you're going to see a lot of these White Sox guys in this meh tier. Vaughn is similar. Tim Anderson. He played like a minor leaguer. I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. Moncada just isn't really playing a lot. Benintendi's still solid. I know he didn't put together, but guy can just hit. You just know it. Luis Robert, on the other hand, low-key is kind of elite. I'm going to put him in great for now. I'm not going to put him in elite just yet. We'll see. He might get bumped up there. Aaron Judge obviously is elite. Not much more I need to say. Eloy, I'm going to put down here with his friends. Javi Baez is a minor league level player. Guy just swings at everything. Not very good. Matt Vierling, as much as I love him, kind of also a minor leaguer. So I put everybody on this list. I'm having a hard time telling who this is. I think this is Zach McKinstry. He's a good platoon player, good for what his role is. Akil Baddoo is just a minor league player, just not very good. Vinny P is still solid. I know he got hurt, wasn't doing fantastic before he got hurt, but still, actually, you know what? I'm going to put it in too early to tell because he is only in his second year, and I am confident in him. Mickey Cabs, obviously, he won't be returning, but he was a minor level player. There's just no way around it. He was just there for the experience. Here comes some guys. I'm going to have to figure out who they are. There are certain teams where you just don't know. You know what I mean? The Royals are one of them. Obviously, there's some I can pick out. Melendez has not played well. Michael Massey, just bleh. Nick Prado, I'd say the same. Oswaldo Cabrera has played like a minor league level. He just has not hit at all up in the major leagues. I believe this is Drew Waters. He had a lot of hype going into him. I think it's a little too early to tell for him personally. I think he can be a good major league player. Edward Oliveira is just kind of meh. Like this, bad teams do not have good players. I'm sorry. Bunch of Astros. Here we go. Abreu, I'll put into. I'm just going to do these all at one time. Abreu's solid. I know he had a down year, but overall, he showed it in the playoffs. He's a solid hitter. Yainer Diaz, a little too early to tell. I am confident that boy can hit. Altuve, low-key, might be elite. He showed it in the playoffs. He's so good. Pena was not good at all. Very disappointing from Pena. Bregman, great. Gets on base. Does everything he needs to. Tucker, close to elite. Not that the order matters inside, but very close. Mauricio Dubon, it's a little too early to tell as well, but I'm confident he can still remain a 750 or so OPS kind of player. Chas McCormick showed he was a solid player this year. That does it for that little bash of Astros. So let's go to Brandon Lau, who, when he was healthy, wasn't great, and he just hasn't been healthy recently. Nate Lowe, I'm still going to put him in solid. He didn't put together a great year this year, but overall just a solid major leaguer. Oh, Marcus Semien is so close to being elite. I don't know if I put him in elite. He's so close. Corey Seager, on the other hand, unbelievable. Guy has a feel for the postseason, too. Josh Young, I think after we've seen it, he's a solid ball player. I know he was hurt a little bit, but just overall looks like he's going to be around a 770 OPS guy. Adolis Garcia is great. Not just the bias, the recency bias from the postseason, but he even put up just a great season in general. 39 bombs. Leody Taveras is just kind of meh. He's kind of like the outlier on that team. He actually isn't a terrible player in the regular season, but he definitely was shown to be the weakness in the postseason. I think Cal Raleigh's is kind of solid, like not much more. Look at how far we have to zoom out in this. I can't even see. I'm sorry, boys. I got to zoom back in. This is Ty France. Ty France did not have a very good year. I think he's kind of in this meh tier. He can be solid. JP Crawford looked pretty good this year. I'm going to put him up here in solid. Kind of was saving that team at points, too. Josh Rojas, kind of just meh. Oh, great. Array, who I got to figure out who this is. Oh, this is Isaac Paredes, who actually, like, in his role, I feel like because I'm putting platoon guys down here in meh, I just got to keep putting them there. Eugenio Suarez is pretty solid. Defensively, has actually improved a lot and pretty good power hitter. Julio's great. He got off to a slow start, but when the summer came, he turned it around. It was still great. Teoscar was pretty meh this year. Literally had to zoom out the Streamlabs thing, too. Goodness gracious, it's a big list. Jared Kelnick looked so good at the beginning of the year. I'm going to put him in solid. He's a tough one. Tough cookie. Logan O'Hoppe, low-key, looks really good. It's still too early to tell. Was in AA not long ago. Zach Neto, same thing. I'm going to put a lot of these guys in here. Mickey Moniak, I'm going to put here in meh. He put up a pretty nice season, but you know what? Just because he's resurgent, I am going to put him in too early to tell. I know he's like 7 years into the league now, but Moustakas, kind of just meh. He actually ended up putting him together like a decent season. Drury was solid. He was low-key a sneaky good pickup for this team. Kept them in games a lot. Shohei, I am going to put him at the top because why wouldn't I? Goat Serena, great ball player. He kind of slowed down just at the worst time in the postseason. Mike Trout, I don't think there's any argument he's still elite. It's just his availability, best abilities availability hasn't been great. And then Taylor Ward has been a pretty solid hitter for the last few years. Oh, wow, what a group to end this one off on. So let's start with Geloff, and let's go to Ryan Noda. Ryan Noda, I don't think is going to be very good next year. Esteury Ruiz, I don't think he's going to make it in the major leagues. I know he steals bags. I don't think his hitting tool is going to be good enough. Kemp was pretty meh. Let's put Trevino. He was hurt, but he also is just kind of meh. Seth Brown, the same. And yeah, just the rest of them, just kind of the same. Boys, that does it for the AL side of this tier list. So if you want to look up here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 elite players in the American League. I think that's about right. Like top 15 elite. Get some guys who are on the fringe here. Yeah, that makes sense. I'm not going to put Lou Bob up there like I said I might. But boys, that is a lengthy tier list. Let's go pop on over to the NL side. Welcome to the NL side of the bracket, whatever this is called, tier list. Again, these guys are kind of weirdly bunched together, but we're going to get through it. Starting off with a heater, Avisail Garcia. He didn't have a very good year, but he's coming off a decent one. I think overall just kind of meh. Bryce Harper is still elite. I don't get like the people who think he's not. When he was healthy, first of all, coming off of Tommy John surgery. When he was healthy and right, goodness gracious, this boy is dangerous. Arenado, on the other hand, did not have a great year. He had a solid year. And everything just didn't look right. And maybe it was like the team, I don't know. Low-key, I'm only going to put him in great. I'm not going to put him in elite. JT Realmuto, I think he's still great overall. I think he's still an elite catcher. Probably not the best in baseball, but probably number 2 if I had to pick one. If I had to guess, he'll be great again next year. He's kind of an every other year guy. But even in the playoffs, he looked great. Like, he's got a knack for it. Patrick Wisdom's just kind of meh. Great rookie season. Ever since then's kind of been off. Dom Smith was just kind of meh. I don't think he's minors, but he's just kind of a below average hitter. Sean Murphy was great in the first half and then was terrible in the second half. Overall, if I put JT in great, Sean Murphy's definitely great. Elias Diaz, I'm going to put him in solid. He had a scorching start to the year and then had the big home run in the All-Star game, but didn't really do much after that. At least not that I heard of. Joey Meneses did not have a great year this year. I think overall it's meh. If you were to ask me last year, I would have put him in this too early to tell, but skeptical. Great story, but I'm going to put him down here. Lourdes is solid. I mean, it's just kind of what he's meant to be, a solid league hitter. I am going to group this guy because this is either Matt McClain or Spencer Steer or someone else, so I'm going to save that for later. Keibert Ruiz, low-key, is solid. He has a great future ahead of him. It's not too early to tell. We can already see. Contact rate is phenomenal. Doesn't chase. He walks. It's going to come back to bite him. He will strike out looking quite a bit. Manuel Rivera is kind of meh. I don't know if he's minors, but just kind of meh. Ji-Hwan Bae definitely is minors. Did not play well. Oh, Jonathan India has not been good for 2 years in a row now. I think he's down into the meh. He's got guys passing him. Nolan Gorman looks to be great. I am going to hold a little bit. I'm going to put him in solid. Don't know why I put him at the top. Nico Horner is a solid ball player. He can hit. He steals bags. Nice pair for the infield with Dansby Swanson. Let's go to Francisco Alvarez. It's a little too early to tell for me. I am confident he's going to be a great hitter, however. Dude, man, Jazz is just kind of meh. He might be the most overrated player in baseball. He's got the flair, he's got the drip, but it's not very good. CJ Abrams, I think he's a solid. I don't think it's too early to tell. I think we can already see him blossoming. Like, he's going to be good. Oh, man. Brett Beatty is just straight up a minors player. I don't think it's too early to tell anymore. And no, I am going to put him in too early to tell. I am definitely skeptical from what I've seen. Johan Rojas, I think it's similar. Like, he was good offensively in the regular season. Obviously, he's fantastic defensively. Probably the best fielder in baseball. But, dude, his hitting tool does not look good. Chris Morel looks to be a very good baseball player. I'm going to hold it a little bit. I think we can already see. Guy hits the ball hard just all the time. Henry Davis looks really good. It's too early to tell, but I'm definitely confident in him. Jordan Walker, you have to be confident, but man, he did not make you want to be confident this year. Oh man, Orlando Arcia. Oh man. Realistically could be in solid, realistically could be in meh. I'm going to put him in meh. I don't know. He's a tough one. Austin Riley is great. No way around it. He's great. I don't know if he's elite, but he's definitely great. Great third baseman. Numbers don't like him there. I don't know why. He is a very good defensively third baseman. Eddie Rosario, again, he put up together a nice season for himself this year. Michael Harris is really close to great. I am gonna put him in great. He's been very good for both years he's been in the major leagues. Arani, he's elite. It's obvious. Guy is incredible. Ozuna actually put together a really nice year at the DH position this year. I'm gonna put him in solid. I don't think there's any other way around it. Bryson Stott is a solid ball player. Like, incredible glove defensively, swipes bags, like better than Trey Turner, who will do him next. And, you know, he's a slap hitter. He hit in my mind, he hit 300. He went into a weird slump where he wasn't playing every day and then just like slumped for like the last 10 games. Other than that, he was hitting like 297 before that. Bryson Stott is definitely solid. I think Trey Turner still, oh goodness gracious. I think Trey Turner still belongs in great. Kind of hit like an MVP caliber from August like to the end of the season. It was kind of unbelievable. I think he's poised for a great season next year. Brandon Marsh has turned himself into a very good everyday ball player. One of the highest OPSs on the Phillies. That's sneaky too. I think Nick Castellanos is solid. I don't think he's great. Definitely cut down on a lot of the big mistakes he had the year before. Wasn't chasing as much. Walked a little bit more. Not in the summer months, but we don't talk about that. Man, if he just learned to walk, man, he would be like 850 OPS. However, was great in the postseason until the NLCS. I'll put him in solid. Kyle Schwarber, I don't think there's any way around this either. He's just a great power hitter. He's great at what he does. He gets on base at an elite clip as well. Jacob Stallings is a minor league player. Like, he's just not very good. Josh Bell is solid, switch hitter. Okay glove to meh glove. Hits the ball hard quite a bit. Luis Arias is great. Batting title champion. Back-to-back years, 2 different leagues. Jake Berger was solid. I'm going to put him in solid here. If he puts together another season, he honestly could be pushing great. That's a very good pickup they made from the White Sox. And I really apologize because this is Jake Berger and this is Garrett Hampson, who is just kind of meh. Actually, low-key a minor leaguer. Brian De La Cruz, honestly, I kind of want him to be solid, but he's just kind of meh. I don't know, something about him. I kind of like him. Jesus Sanchez, also, he just kind of platoons. I'm going to put him in the same boat. Ah, wow, a lot of Mets in a row here. Let's do this. Vogelback, he still walks a little bit. So DJ Stewart, I am a little skeptical of. I don't know if he'll go out and put a similar season. Like, he just hit the ball out of the ballpark like a ton. And good for him, nothing against him. Like, he may go out and do it again. McNeil, I don't think I can put him anywhere but solid because he's probably going to come out next year and be pretty good. Marte was pretty meh. I think that's just kind of where he is right now. Alonso, if I put Schwarber, Alonso's going there. He's great. If he gets traded, I'll be shocked. Lindor, also great, low-key pushing elite, had a really good year this year. There's be some people who like his batting average is too low, and like it's true. Like for Francisco Lindor, you'd want that to be higher, but still gave them anything they needed. Nimmo had a great year. However, I am reconsidering. I'm going to put him in solid. On base king. This is Mark Vientos, who it's a little too early to tell. I'm also a little skeptical. I'll put him there. I hate to be like that Mets hater. Literally 3 Mets and skeptical. Luis Garcia can just low-key hit the ball. I'm going to put him in solid. I got to keep moving this guy down. Lane Thomas is incredible. I'm going to put him in solid. If he gets visit another year, he'll be in great easily. He is very... This outfield for the Nationals is scary good. And they have like a full outfield in the minor leagues in like top 20 prospects. They've got guys to deal away, I'll tell you what. Including Alex Call, who's not a bad ball player. I'm going to put him in Met. Not great at the plate, but a very good fielder. On to these Brewers guys. So Contreras put up a pretty good season. I'm going to put him in solid. I don't know if I can put him in great. We're zooming out, boys. Rowdy Tellez was just not very good when he played, and he didn't play a lot. I'll put him in meh. Bryce Terang, it's a little early to tell for me. I don't think he's going to be very good for a long time. I still think Willy Adames is a solid ball player. He didn't have a great year this year, but if you ask me, he's probably going to be good next year. Andrew Monasterio, low-key to me, looks like he's going to be a good ball player, especially in a Brewers team like that. Mark Canha is just always solid. It's just what he's going to give you. Joey Wiemer, it's a little too early to tell, but I'm also confident in him. I think he does have real tools with the bat we just haven't seen as much of yet. Then Tyrone Taylor is just kind of meh. He's just kind of platoon player. It's just kind of what he's going to give you. I think Yan Gomes is meh. He started off the year offensively pretty decently, fell off. Candelario has made himself a bag. That boy's going to get paid. He was very good this year. Dansby's really tough to rank. I think I'm going to put him in solid. He's under a good contract, but overall, I don't think I can put him with great. Like, he wasn't as good as Lindor. But, like, when I think of Dansby, I think he'll be a solid ball player. I don't think he'll be a great ball player. Like, Real Muto, he'll be a great ball player next year. Ian Happ, I think, is also solid. Bellinger was great. I think he's back. He's back, man. He's just 100%. Looks like MVP Belly again. Seiya Suzuki, on the other hand, one of the biggest disappointments of the year, was not very good. All right, let's do some of these together. So I'll go out on a limb. Votto still gives you value. I know he might retire. He still gives you something, like around league average, which then again, I'm going to put him in meh. Never mind. Tyler Stevenson is very good. The guy hits the ball hard. Okay, so Ellie De La Cruz, it's too early to tell. I am confident, but he's got some major issues he needs to fix, including striking out. That's the biggest one. He was actually low-key like below average hitter this year, even though we saw all the crazy things he did. Now trying to figure out who all these people are is going to be great. Start with Jake Fraley, who actually just was a great hitter all year. Clutch hitter as well. Matt McClain, to me, it's a little too early to tell. I am confident that he will be one of the better ball players for the next like decade. Like, he looks that good. Nick Senzel, it's also a little too early to tell. It's hard to like not be confident in these Reds players, man. TJ Friedel is just kind of solid, like nothing more than that. Could be meh. I don't know. Good glove. He actually hit the ball around a little bit this year. Then Spencer Steer, I think he's just kind of like solid, period. I don't know if there's much argument about it now. You'll see I only have 5 Pirates players because there's only 5 really who played at all consistently, or guys who will actually be there. Although we had Ji-Hwan Bae, and Henry Davis. We had more than that. Endy Rodriguez is too early to tell. Yes, I think he'll be a pretty solid major leaguer in my eyes. Might be overtaken. Henry Davis is a catcher. They got him playing outfield right now. Ke'Bryan Hayes is a solid ball player. Like, the offense has gotten a little bit better and better each year, and the glove is obviously disgusting. Leover Peguero, probably just a minor leaguer. Brian Reynolds is solid. I don't think he's great. Ever since 2021, like 2022 and 23 were good seasons, not great seasons. And then Jack Suwinski, to me, has turned himself into a solid ball player. Power is incredible. Good defense, good arm. Wilson Contreras, low-key, kind of checked in a really nice season this past year. I'm going to put him in solid. I don't know if I'm going to put him in great. Goldie, I will put in great because he was one of the few, again, who also had a very good season. It's really him, Gorman, Contreras. I think Tommy Edmonds is kind of meh. I don't know if there's much of a way around it. Zooming out again. Lars Nootbaar, I'm going to put him in solid. I think he's better than Edmund. I think he's... Almost feels like there should be a tier in between those two, but we'll leave it how it is. And Tyler O'Neill has not been good. Ever since 2021, been hurt or he's not been good. I think Will Smith deserves to be up here with Real Muto and Murphy. He has been one of the better hitters, period, in baseball the last couple of years. Freddie Freeman is obviously elite. That boy he's unbelievable to me. I don't know if I've seen a guy consistently hit the ball hard like Freddie Freeman does. Enrique Hernandez, he's a minor leaguer, league level player, I should say. And Miguel Rojas, they're both clubhouse guys, but just performance-wise, not very good. Max Muncy, kind of meh. I don't think he's like that guy anymore. Just realized Justin Turner got grouped in with these because I think I was thinking of him when I was thinking about the Dodgers. He ended up, I know he's AL, but he ended up putting in a pretty solid season, so we'll put him in there. I also forgot to put in JD Martinez, and I'm realizing that right now. I would have put him in solid as well. He had a pretty good season. I think he earned himself another contract with the Dodgers, personally, especially if they're going to sign Shohei. Chris Taylor, boy's being paid money. Low-key, also, I'm going to put him in meh. He still gives some kind of value. James Outman, to me, it's a little too early to tell. I think he'll be okay. I don't think he's going to be great, but I'm definitely more confident in him than I am in these guys. Mookie, elite, arguably could be MVP. Probably will be Ronnie, though. Gabby Moreno, I don't think it's too early to tell. This guy's just a solid ball player, period. I watched him play in the minor leagues. Just overall, just a pretty solid hitter, pretty solid catcher. I think Christian Walker goes in this tier as well. I don't know if I can put him in great. Just overall, pretty good player. I don't know if he's up with these guys, though. Arguably could be. I think Ketel Marte, I know we can go with the bias of the postseason, but overall, I think he belongs in this tier with these guys. Geraldo Perdomo, to me, it's too early to tell still. I am definitely skeptical. He fell off big time in the second half. Jordan Lawler, obviously too early to tell. I'm a little more confident in him, though. Didn't see him play a lot. Wasn't great when he did, but very big prospect. I'm pretty confident in him still. Evan Longoria, low-key, kind of turned into a pretty solid player for the Snakes team. They made it to the World Series. He platooned. He did what he needed to. Alec Thomas, he was overall meh. I know he had moments in the postseason, but he was just overall meh. Oh, man. Corbin Carroll. I'm going to put him in gray. I'm not going to jump the gun just yet. Next year, he'll probably be an elite. Gary Sanchez was actually a solid ball player. He ended up being the everyday catcher for this Padres team. Cronenworth was kind of meh. Let me just go through these. Carpenter was a minor league player. Grisham just kind of meh. Oh, here we go. Ha-Sung Kim was great this year. And, it looks sustainable, too. I think Tatis was okay. I think especially since we're still on the PED thing and he wasn't as good as he was back then. I'm going to put him down here. I think Manny can still be great. I think he'll be great next year, but he did not have a good year. I still think I can put Juan Soto in Italy. I still think he's one of the 10 best players in baseball. I don't know. Bogarts is solid. That contract's going to look not good at all in 5 years. It already doesn't look very good. And now we're on to the Giants. How about this? Patrick Bailey, it's a little too early to tell. I'm definitely skeptical. I don't think he can hit very well. So this is Tyro Estrada and Lamont Wade. It doesn't matter which one is which. They're both solid. They're both just solid hitters, solid fielders. They're not meh. They bring good value to a team. J.D. Davis, the same. Put together a nice year this year. I think when he was back with the Mets, he wasn't bad either. Brandon Crawford is a minor league level player. Did not play well at all this year. And he's probably retiring too. Michael Conforto overall was just kind of meh. Mitch Haniger was kind of the same. I think that they'll be about that for the next couple years. Yastrzemski, the same. That's kind of sad. Jock, I'll put him in solid. He did not have a very good year this year himself, and he was hurt a little bit. Nolan Jones looked so good. It's too early to tell, but I am confident he will be a very good ball player. Brendan Rodgers, he's just kind of meh, especially with the Coors effect and stuff. Ezekiel Tovar looks like he's going to end up being a pretty solid major leaguer. It's a little too early to tell, though. Alan Trejo, just kind of meh. He wasn't bad, but Coors effect, whatever. Chris Bryant, I think I can put him in solid still. He just has been hurt so much. We're running out of room here, boys. Charlie Blackmon was meh. I don't know if he was minor league level, but a little bit better than that. Then 2 Braves ended off, actually, and Ozzy's going to go in solid, like, toward the top of it. After further consideration, Elias Diaz is going to come down here to meh. And then Matt Olson is going to go to, wow. I think Matt Olson's elite. I don't know. It's going to be controversial. Matt Olson's low-key elite. Boys, an hour of recording tier lists, but man, that took a long time. I hope you enjoyed. I ranked well, not every player, but you get the gist. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you did enjoy, remember to leave a like as well as subscribe. Remember, 2 other big projects. The first one's going to be the documentary that's coming out. Second one is going to be predicting free agency, which starts technically like tomorrow or something like that. So make sure you guys subscribe so you don't miss out on that. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out. Leave a like on this video, please. Have a great day.